guys? Back to Canva Tip Weekly, back to our regularly scheduled programming. If you're seeing this on YouTube, be sure to follow my newsletter. I actually did update with the whole month of May. I have every single session that we're going to be doing in May, and today we're starting with fonts. Oh my gosh, and I have a lot of goodies for you here today. The first thing I have is going to be relevant is this great document that you're going to play around with your fonts in. The second thing I have is another document that I've been working really hard on, which is all available sans serif body copy fonts that you can get in both Squarespace and Canva. So these fonts below in this table are available both in Canva and in Squarespace. So if you're one of those, it's gotta match. You're like, oh my gosh, I really want to pick one and I want it to be the same on both things. This is going to be the guide for you. So you're going to get access to both of these things today. Don't worry if you don't care if it doesn't match. I've suggested a couple of my favorite Canva fonts as well. Let's dig into what the heck I'm talking about. So Canva, a couple weeks ago, which is why I had to go on hiatus with Canva Tip Weekly, released a whole bunch of bejoodle new features. So many. Some of these I could care less about. They're cool, but do they really help the integrity and the structure and strength of our brands, which is what Canva Tip Weekly is about? Not quite. One big thing they did was they changed Brand Hub. Boop. They changed the brand kit to a brand hub. So now, to update all things brand, you're going to be here. They have updated this to brand kit, brand templates, and brand controls. I'll be going over brand templates and brand controls in a different video. Today, we're at the brand kit. You will click on your brand kit and ta-da! We're not talking about logos. We're not talking about colors. We're talking fonts. Let's get into it. So this used to just be three things: a heading, a subheading, and your body copy. And Canva has decided to give us 10,000 things, which I have scoured the internet, and if you have access to this, please let me know. I do not see how these map up. So what we're going to do is we're going to do the Olivia way. My suggestion is to have title and subtitle the same thing as heading and subheading. So my title font is going to be the one that I purchased and spent a lot of money on, called Vesterbro. And my subtitle is going to be Montserrat Classic, which I really love. And then my heading is going to be the title and the subheading and so forth and so on. My section header is going to be Interface Bold, which is another font that I purchased actually to have a unique font. My body copy is Interface. My quote font, I'm using a fun font, and my caption font, I'm going to use a fun font, and I'm going to show you that as well. So here's where you're going to upload all of those things. So to repeat that, my suggestion is going to be to keep your title and your heading, your main heading, big H1 font. Mine is consistent across my website. My H1 heading font is also, it's called Vesterbro. Here it is. This is my H1 font. Then your subtitle and your subheading can be a bold or chunky version. I use my H2 is Vesterbro, but my H3, which I don't know if I have on this page, looks like I'm not using an H3, but typically my H3 on Canva, which is a subtitle, is a bold version of either Montserrat Classic or Interface. That's what I use. My body copy, I'm gonna tell you all this. I purchased a font called Interface just to keep things consistent. I think that your body copy, as long as it's a sans serif that's readable, is totally up to you. I truly do. I've given you some options here. This is the fonts. These are all the ones that I think work great as body copy. I'm also showing them to you how they look bold, how they look as body copy with Lorem Ipsum, how they pair, but you could pick anything from this list. You'd be good to go. Good to go. You would. Oh, look at that. You can also now adjust the, you can make this bold, unbold. For some reason, Montserrat Classic doesn't have italics, and you can set its starting size. Awesome. And then quote and caption. Olivia, I want to upload fonts. If you want to upload a font, you can, first of all, manage them. So I can click Manage Uploaded Fonts. These are all the ones I've ever uploaded. This is a joke, I swear. That's a joke. I promise. I did not actually use Joker, but I think I did it for a TikTok or something. So here's all the fonts I've ever done. I can click Add New right here, or I can click Add New here. It's going to say, oh, I've already used all of my text styles here, so I don't know why it's going to let me add a whole other one. Add guidelines. Oh my goodness. Looks like you can do this. Use Vesterbro H1 font, and then interface as body copy, and always all caps Montserrat Classic for upper headlines. Let's see where this goes. We're discovering this one together. Oh, cool. Okay, so this just added a nice, cute little... Okay, awesome. Now we've got that. So, okay, save. Looks like there's 500 words you could write here. So you can set guides for your team. So add new, and then you can click upload a font, and then add new here. When you upload a font, you just need to be careful that, first of all, you have the license to that font. I'm going to show you that on Creative Market. On Creative Market, let's say you want a font that is a really cool, hip serif, like I'm designing a brand. Let's say you love this whole font family. Let's go through licenses really quickly. A desktop license is all you're going to need to design on your computer or on Canva. You're totally good to go there. An EPUB license is how you're going to do like an ebook. Like let's say you want to have your ebook like to put on like Kindle, that kind of ebook, not like a lead magnet, but like you're publishing an ebook. That's going to be like your chapter titles, XYZ there. An app, let's say you guys are designing an app that goes on the App Store. It's a pretty pricey cost, right? Next up is going to be a web font. A web font is going to be you installing it on your website. Unfortunately, this is Canva Tip Weekly. Although if enough of you comment, I'm happy to do a little design video on how to upload a font. Most of us are going to be right here on the 10K page views a month. See, it's only $28 to upload it. And then if you're a big business, which you guys usually aren't, you would need this. So for Canva, most of us are going to be right here under desktop. $28 is insanely cheap for a font. Some of the big type foundries charge hundreds for their fonts. So if you really like something, upload it. However, if you upload a font, you need to know. Let's go ahead and show you my uploaded font right here, which is called Vesterbro. You do not have as many controls over it. See how my bold and my italics are grayed out? That's because this isn't a native Canva font. When we say something is native, it means it is inside of the platform that we're using. Since it's not a native font, Canva has no idea how to bold it or italicize it. It doesn't have the roadmap for that. That's why it's sometimes really important to just go ahead and use Canva fonts wherever possible. You're going to see that even my other font that I use, which is Interface, I also can't bold and italicize it either. It's a special font. So that's why I think you should go back to this one. All of these fonts do have all of their controls, which is fantastic. Going back over here, can't give you guys Vesterbro. If I put it in this document, it does actually give it to you guys. So, all right. So that is how you upload, how you edit everything over here. But you're probably still scratching your head. Olivia, how do I pick? What do I do? That's a big question, and I understand. First, you're going to decide whether or not you want to use sans serif or serif fonts. Secondly, you really need to see how your fonts are going to be used to make decisions. So I've put this together. This is your Let's Go Studio type playground. I want you to use this document to go ahead and imagine how everything goes together. Here we are. You've got your heading font, a subheading font, and this is what body copy looks like. Go ahead and take this and replace it and tinker around until you're completely happy. Maybe you have a fun quote or call out font that you use for social media. The Tan font family is really good for that. If you type in Tan, they have tons of really cool fonts that I bet a lot of you are going to like. Tan Kindred looks really great in all caps. Something like Tan Nightingale looks really cool. Just make sure it's accessible, and I wouldn't use this as a main font. I would use this as like a quote or a call out. Tan Buster is really cool. I use that a lot as well. This is a caption. Sometimes you might want a font to a caption. And then I'm repeating the subheading font because a subheading you use multiple times. So let's make sure we like it multiple times. And then here I've got a bulleted list as well as the body copy here because you got to make sure you like it as a bulleted list. Last and not least, do you have one more fun font? Like maybe you have a script or like a handwriting. If you're a seasoned Let's Go Studio pro, you know that I'm not a big fan of script fonts. They're very hard to read. If you must use script and if you must have it, try to find a really clean looking script font. like this one, that is not readable. And you might be able to read it, but don't forget, you're not making your brand for yourself. You're making your brand so that someone else can read it and someone else can absorb it with you. So here, I think this would look fun with just one word. Fun font. That's more readable than having a whole sentence if you must. If you must with your script fonts. Boop. Like, that's kind of cool. This font is Canva Student, and Canva actually has a suite of fonts as well. They have Canva Sans, Canva Sans Medium, Canva Student, and then that's not a Canva font. It's another one. So I really like this Canva Student font. I think it's really readable and works great as an extra font. So tinker around with this document, have some fun working on this. This is going to be in the show notes. This is going to be a blog that's going to be a newsletter exclusive. So this is going to go on my blog and it's going to be on my newsletter if you really want to read this whole thing, or honestly, just screenshot it. Done? Great. So that's going to be on my blog, but you also will be able to have access to this document and make a copy to this document, which is pretty sweet. So that's the brand kit fonts. I already forget what we're talking about next week, but go back to the newsletter. I have the whole outline there. I'm going to continue to, I'm pretty sure it's these. I'm going to continue to break down the new brand kit for everybody. If you've got font questions, be sure to leave them in the comments or email me directly, and I would be happy to answer any of them. I know fonts is a really big topic, but this type playground should really get you started. Having a lot of fun with putting fonts in. All right, guys, have fun.